Okay, this is an overview of the form view of the events screen in MagicBase Pro. There are 4 different sections on the screen. You've got the event information here. You've got a list of past or current events here. The financial information is in this section, and there are some notes fields here. First, let's look at the event information. Now this field is where you can define what the name of the event was. You can either type in the name or you can select the name from this list of event names. Now that list of event names you define. You create that list by clicking on the event name button, and there's a whole list of events, and you can just type in any new event name that you want. New event. And then that will become part of your defined event name list, and then you can select it as a standard event name. Next is the event date field. You can either type in the date into this field, or you can use the calendar selector to select the date. The next 2 fields in green are the company name and the contact name. Now those are automatically filled in because we're looking at an event from this customer. Clicking on that will take me back to the Customers tab where the customer information is listed, and the Events tab will list the events for that particular customer. There's a contact name also. That's the person that you dealt with at the company. Next, if you've been hired by an entertainment agency, you can type the agency in here, and if you have other performers that work for you, you can type in the performer's name here. The status area is to define whether the show is booked or pending, or they haven't been hired you, or they're just a prospect. Now there's also view action buttons. View actions are pop-up reminders of things that you might need to do, like call them or send a letter or an email. Next is the event history. Now this has got a scrolling list of all of the events that you've done for the customer. And notice that there's also a button here that says potential income. That's going to show you how much money you could actually make if the customer hired you for all of these events. Selecting one of the events, you see changes the potential income. This is a total of all of these event fees. But it also has placed all the financial details for this event up here. Currently we're looking at the event called New Event. So let's look at the financial details. You've got your show fee here. If an entertainment agency has hired you and you want to put their fee on top of that, then you can type that in here. Of course, if you've been hired by an entertainment agency, then actually you want to deduct this amount from what you're going to get paid. So if you go over to the Rates and Fees tab, and we've got the agency rate right now set at 20%, but I can click in here and change this to a negative number, and then that will be reflected over here, and that 20% will be deducted from the performer's fee. Next, there's a tab for typing in miscellaneous fees if for some reason you have to charge something else. And of course, there's a mileage fee. You can type in the mileage and decide what mileage rate you want to charge, and that will be added on there also. If you want to type in a discount, you can type that number in here, and that will be reflected on the contract also. Now you'll notice over here there's a deposit field, which currently is at 0. If I go to the rates and fees and I set my deposit at $100, and let's say that they've paid that, now they can pay cash or credit or whatever. You can select that there. When I go back to the Financials tab, the deposit is here, and then the actual amount due is listed here, and this is the total amount due. Now notice also that there is a taxes field. The taxes are added on to the subtotal, and you can define what the taxes are by typing in a tax rate or no tax rate at all, and that will be reflected there, and then this information will appear on the contract. Now finally, there are 2 notes fields on this screen. The event notes, you can type anything that you want here. If you click on the event notes button, It will enlarge to the whole screen and you'll have a lot of information to type, and you can format your notes any way that you want. The other Notes tab is the contract notes. Notes that are typed in this area will actually appear on the contract. So that is the summary of the form view of the events screen in MagicBase Pro.